Hello. So today what we're going to do is talk about shelter. And the shelter that I think is one of the best you can have in a survival situation. So what makes an ultimate survival shelter? One that is simple and effective. The shelter that I'm sharing today is not a new design. They've used it throughout history because it works. Now, using a tarp, setting it up, makes it a lot quicker than natural materials, but you can also use natural materials. That is the lean-to. The lean-to is an ultimate shelter because what it can provide for you. So a lean-to can help with the 4 areas of heat loss. It can keep you dry. So that helps with your trapping of your radiant heat. If you have wet clothing, then your insulation value of your clothing is diminished. It also helps with conduction by putting a raised bed in underneath or getting up off the ground and insulating yourself from the ground and the cold air from beneath. It also can help with convection, the wind blowing through, stopping that driving wind. And you can put a fire out front and have the radiant heat coming in, hitting the top and rolling right in. So I've used this shelter in many storms. I've used it in very extreme cold temperatures in conjunction with the fire and just slept in my clothing. So this shelter has been an ultimate shelter. Now, what I'm going to do is just give you some few clips and such, and also a simple setup of a lean-to shelter that I have used for years.
First thing what we should do is always look for anything that may fall on us from above when the wind shifts and so on. Here I'm making sure that I tie my line at hip height. That gives a good angle with the 6 feet, that it sheds rain nice and gives you ultimate protection. Keeping the cordage in your bag, I don't have to make the loops, I don't have to do anything like that, and just a couple easy present knots can really make this a fast shelter to set up. All it takes is 2 on the ridge line. Take your tarp, open it up, and then put the loop of the knot through the tarp and then put a toggle. Tighten it up and go to the other side. Now these stakes are simple. You take a loop, you wrap it around once, and there's no need for notches and such. Wrap it around once, you put the loop up through the grommet, put a toggle on it, and then stake it to the ground. Very fast and simple. So having just 4 loops and your ridge line is all you need. Now constructing a wall on your shelter can stop any driving rain and also help with wind. This here I'm going to just show a quick, start of a wall here. You can fill this in a lot more. This is just a start to kind of give you an idea.
My shelter is carried in here plus all the cordage. I use a 6x8 poly tarp. It's rugged, it's a heavy duty tarp, and it gives me a foot of coverage above my head and below my feet for any driving rain from the sides. Plus, like I've shown, you can put a wall down it to stop driving rain and blowing wind. Also, the 6 foot long gives you more coverage. I start my bed 2 feet back from the front of my shelter, and that has worked very well for me in many storms. What I have here is that same shelter, but a few additions to a proven design. This one here, I'm working with a company that I will give the reveal in once these are out for purchase. But I wanted to come up with a way to improve on a shelter that I know works. So in this bag here is the prototype. I've been using it. It works great, and it's the ultimate survival shelter in my opinion. It's not a new design, but cut to my specs, add in different tie-outs and such. It is a new product for sure. So hopefully we'll have these out on market soon, and I can reveal these to you. So I want to thank you for watching. Take care. All the best.